Ever stared up at the sky and thought about how utterly dependent we are on that giant, fiery ball? It's not just for sunny beach days. The sun powers everything. But what if, just for a week, it decided to take an unscheduled vacation? What if the sun just vanished for 7 whole days? Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, today, we're diving deep into that chilling, mind-bending scenario. Get ready to have your perspective on our celestial neighbor completely shifted. Right off the bat, let's clear up a common misconception. If the sun suddenly disappeared, we wouldn't instantly be plunged into darkness. Why not? Because light travels at a finite speed. It takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds for sunlight to reach Earth. So, for the first 8 minutes and 20 seconds after the sun's disappearance, we'd be completely oblivious. We'd see it shining brightly in the sky, just like any other day. Talk about a delayed reaction, right? It would be business as usual, people going about their morning routines, completely unaware of the cosmic catastrophe that just occurred. But then, after those first 8 minutes and 20 seconds, everything would change. The sun would simply wink out. The sky would turn black, a permanent night blanketing the entire planet. No gradual sunset, just an immediate, terrifying darkness. This wouldn't be like a normal night, though. There'd be no moon reflecting sunlight, because there'd be no sun to reflect. The stars, usually obscured by atmospheric light pollution, would burst into view with an intensity we rarely ever see. It would be a breathtaking, yet incredibly eerie spectacle. Now, darkness is one thing, but what about temperature? This is where things get really serious, really fast. The Earth's surface and atmosphere would immediately start losing heat into the cold vacuum of space without the sun's constant energy input. Within the first 24 hours, global temperatures would plummet significantly. Experts estimate the average global temperature would drop from a comfortable 15 degrees Celsius to around 0 degrees Celsius, or 32 degrees Fahrenheit, in just that first day. That's a massive drop. Most places would experience a sudden, severe freeze. Think about what that means for us. Cities would be plunged into an unprecedented winter storm. Heating systems would crank up, but for how long could they sustain it? Roads would become treacherous ice rinks. Water pipes in homes, if not properly insulated, would begin to freeze and burst, causing widespread infrastructure damage. Power grids, already strained by the sudden demand for heating, would face immense pressure. It would be a true test of human resilience and our infrastructure's limits. Day 2 and 3 would bring even more dramatic changes. The temperature freefall would continue. Within 48 to 72 hours, the average global temperature would likely drop to below minus 20 degrees Celsius. Lakes, rivers, and even parts of the oceans would start to freeze over. Imagine entire coastlines transforming into icy expanses. This isn't just about feeling cold. It's about a complete ecological breakdown. The effects on plant life would be immediate and devastating. Photosynthesis, the process plants use to convert sunlight into energy, would cease entirely. Without photosynthesis, most plant life on Earth would begin to die off rapidly. Smaller, less resilient plants would be the first to go. Forests, grasslands, and agricultural crops would wither and perish within days. This isn't just a sad sight, it's a direct threat to the food chain. Herbivores, animals that rely solely on plants for food, would quickly run out of sustenance. Their populations would crash, leading to a ripple effect throughout the entire ecosystem. The beauty of our green planet would turn into a barren, frozen landscape. By day 4 and 5, the world would resemble something out of a post-apocalyptic movie. Temperatures would continue their relentless descent, possibly reaching minus 50 degrees Celsius, or even lower in some areas. The top layers of the oceans would be significantly frozen, though their sheer volume would prevent them from freezing solid for a very long time. Marine life would face immense challenges. Surface-dwelling organisms would perish, and even deep-sea creatures, while less affected by the surface temperature, would eventually feel the impact as their food sources from above disappeared. The biggest concern for humans would shift from immediate cold to survival resources. Food supplies would dwindle rapidly. With crops gone, and most animals dying, famine would become a real and terrifying possibility. Access to fresh, unfrozen water would also become a critical issue. Water treatment plants, if they could even still operate, would struggle with frozen pipes and energy demands. Communities would become isolated. Transportation would be severely hampered by extreme cold and ice, and communication systems might start failing. As we approach day 6 and 7, the Earth would be a frozen, desolate planet, eerily quiet except for the sound of cracking ice and howling winds. The average global temperature could be plummeting towards minus 100 degrees Celsius in some regions, though the core of the Earth would still provide some residual heat, keeping us from reaching absolute zero. The atmosphere, once a protective blanket, would become incredibly thin and cold. Humans would be forced into desperate measures, seeking shelter in super-insulated environments, huddled around any heat source they could find. Our dependence on technology and artificial light would be absolute. Think about underground bunkers, geothermal heating, or nuclear power plants becoming the last bastions of organized human life. But even these resources would be finite. The long-term outlook, if the sun didn't return, would be bleak. A slow, agonizing slide into a frozen, airless void. The oxygen in our atmosphere, produced by plants, would eventually deplete without replenishment. The Earth would wander through space as a rogue planet, a dark, icy mausoleum. So, after a week of darkness and extreme cold, what have we learned from this chilling thought experiment? Well, first, it's a stark reminder of just how fragile life on Earth truly is, and how perfectly balanced our existence is thanks to our sun. It's not just a light source, it's the ultimate life giver. It highlights the immense power of nature and our humble place within the cosmos. It also shows us the incredible resilience of life, but also its absolute dependence on fundamental conditions. While the sun disappearing is a virtually impossible scenario in reality, don't worry, it's not going anywhere for billions of years. This exercise helps us appreciate the everyday miracles we often take for granted. It underscores the importance of a healthy planet and the delicate balance of our ecosystems. It also inspires us to think about sustainable living and how we might adapt to extreme challenges, even if they're hypothetical. What a wild ride that was, thinking about a world without our sun, even for just 7 days. It really makes you appreciate that golden orb in the sky, doesn't it? If you found this cosmic thought experiment as fascinating as I did, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and let me know in the comments below what you think would be the biggest challenge if the sun really did vanish. And of course, if you want more mind-bending science and what-if scenarios, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.